Hi, my name is Alessandro Vangelosi and that's a video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for Max Cookie. Today we work on the part 8 for the Photoreal interior with VRay. We have to fix this problem on the furniture and we have to finalize the other things we have to add there and prepare also the TV model. So let's start fixing the model there so we can pick some part of this model to be sure we have everything fixed. Let's go in isolation and then in the perspective and zoom to all these meshes. So first thing, let's select this model and we can use the vertices. Let's have also the edges faces. So we can pick those vertices and move it. We can check from the top. Okay, and that's right. Then we can do the same thing to these pieces. And then we have to do the same thing for the other two. So let's use an edit poly. Vertices, move, and let's move a little bit there. Okay, nice. Then let's continue with the others. That's right. Let's go to fix this model. And now we can do the same for the other. So let's pick these vertices and we do it more little, something like that. Okay, nice, that's fixed. So let's go to put some stuff over this model. We have not so much model for texture to make new books, so to do something really fast we can do something using this one. So we pick this one and this one, this one. Let's go in isolation. Okay, let's make a clone for this one and we can move it. Okay, let's go at full screen there to check the book. Okay, and that's nice. So we have the book in the right position. It is a little bit big, but it can be nice for the moment. So we'll use this one to make it similar to an encyclopedia. So we move it there and then let's use the array, so extras, and let's use the array to make all the other copies. So let's use the preview and let's move it 0. And maybe we can use 20 copies. Okay, maybe we do just a little bit of more space between. Let's remove the edges faces. Okay, it can be nice. Let's say, okay, so we have the right model. Then we can do something there. For example, we can move this book. Let's make a clone. Maybe we can need to change something. And okay, let's rotate maybe we can fix before the we can do it manually there. We have to move all the books. That's not nice, but you see something is wrong with the position. Let's check also there. You see that we have a problem with the rotation, so let's pick all that book, let's rotate manually. Okay, and then we can move it to stay on the top. Nice. Let's make another copy. And we can rotate it completely. And let's rotate a little bit to have something not so precise. Nice. And let's copy another book over this one. And then we move it. There the position is right. That's not a problem. So back in the camera number 5. Let's unhide and save. And we can make a render, but we have to use a lower quality, so remove the displacement, and the anti-alias can be lower. Let's go to 1.4, and there we can go back to 3 -3 -3. Let's remove the detail enhancement, and let's go there to 750, and back there to 16 and 2. Let's render a preview. Okay, let's render just this area. Okay, we have the books there, and it seems working fine. So we can put some more books there, and then we put something like some vase or something like that. So let's close, and let's go back there, and perspective, and zoom to the book. And we can, for example, select, let's say, maybe that's book. Then we can make a copy. We have to move it a little bit, and then we can, for example, pick 2 books. Sorry, and using the shift key we make a copy. We can rotate it, sorry. So we can move this one. Let's do. Okay, and this one can be moved manually. Nice. So we have all the books ready. Then let's copy something we have on the other point of view. Let's check the other cameras. We can pick something, I think, for let's go in a perspective. Let's select this one, and let's rotate the room. We can pick this vase. Let's make a clone as a copy, because maybe we can change something. Back in the view number 5, and back then in the perspective. Okay, then let's move. let's check the material for this one. We have a white color, and that's nice, and we can make a clone as a copy, and we change something. So let's see the final result. We can do something with a different shape. This one can be one of the shape, and this one can stay a little bit moved just to have something different. So we have two vases there, and we can create something more to be put over this layer. So let's select this one and this one, and let's go in isolation, and let's see over all the view, and then let's create a line let's say something like that, and then something like that. Okay, so this shape, we go to create the outline, then we go on this vertices, and we can create the fillet. Then we select this one, and we create the fillet 2. Let's close, and then we can use the lathe on the minimum, let's say 40, and align to this one. Let's move it on the ground and move it there. Okay, so zoom to all view, and then we can create what we call, and we can create this one, so we can call it TV vase. We go for a VRay material and a sign. To do something fast, we can, or maybe we can do something different. Let's use a VRay fast surface scattering number 2, and to do something really fast, we can use a marble, and then we can choose, let's say, as overall color. Let's go there, and let's use a substance, or maybe directly a bitmap, and we can pick for a bitmap coming from the 3ds Max maps. Let's see inside the stone, and we can use, for example, this map. Let's say to generate the maps. Let's remove the blurring, and let's see with 2 and 2, maybe 4, 6, 8, and 3, 4. Okay, so back in the perspective point, let's hide everything, and let's see again the preview as before. Okay, we have to check this area in a bigger way, so we can use this cam. So let's select this camera and clone as a copy. Let's go in the camera number 6, and we can move it. let's select the camera target, and then we go higher, and then again select camera, and we go higher too, and then back, select camera target, and we move it. Okay, so back in the rendering there, let's say that we want to see this preview. So you see we have the vase, and we have also this one. Okay, let's go in the material, and we can play a little bit with this one. We'll have a little bit of bump, but that's wrong, so let's make a copy, and let's go there, and we can use a color correction, keep all map, saturation, so we have a black and white map, and there we say 0.3. Then it is too much, let's go for 5, and we have the trace reflection, so we have the reflectivity. Let's zoom just this area. Okay, we have the reflection now, and let's say that the glossiness is nice. Maybe we can have a little bit less, so 0.8, and then let's go there, and let's say that we have more scattering, let's say 2 centimeters. Okay. Okay, nice. Maybe we can have still a little bit less specular glossiness. Okay, and just to see there, let's change a little bit the IRR. I like just to tune up a little bit the scattering. Okay, do something like that. Let's go back to the camera number 5, and let's render again a preview. Sorry. And let's render a preview for this area. Okay, we can move this object, so let's close. Let's move there. Okay, nice. So now we can put something over there. Maybe we can do something really simple. Let's imagine something like a lamp, maybe on this part of the room, and then we can work at the TV model. So let's save. Okay, so let's close this one, and let's go to model a lamp. So we pick these 2 meshes. Let's use a perspective, and back in all the cameras we can model it. Let's do something simple. So we use a spline to create the part of the model there. Let's say maybe something like I like to make something strange. Okay, let's zoom the spline and working on the vertices. So let's move this one there and this one there. This one can stay on the ground. This one is outer, and this one must be lower, but let's say that there we need more space. Okay, so the spline, outline, an internal outline, or maybe I'm thinking about this. Okay, let's go in this way. Nice. So let's close there, and the vertices, let's say that we like to have the fillet just in some area. Okay, let's go to have the fillet. Okay, and close, and let's move over the y-axis, the z-axis. Then we can use the lathe, minimum, and we can change the shape. Okay, you see, it's a strange model, but I hope it will be nice. And then let's exit from there. Let's imagine that this one stay there, and from the other lamp we can pick something, like for example this one, edit clone as a copy, because maybe we have to change something. We can put it there and back there and align to this one. Okay, so let's go to full screen there, and we can scale it because you see it's really big. Okay, nice. So this one can be linked to the other part, so if we move this one we have no problem. Okay, so let's say that this one can have another color. There we have the wood, so maybe again we can have this white over the lamp too. And another thing we have to do is the cable. So let's pick this one, this one, and this one, and let's go in isolation. From the top view, let's zoom, and we can use the same way we done the other cable. So we can create a curve, okay, like this one, and we can move it, and then we can say that this one is obviously renderable. Okay, and let's start to move it. Then the first thing is to go there, then we have the cable. I like to change a little bit. Okay, and then this one can stay there, and the other vertices should stay lower. It's not important where we are putting this one, and the same for this one. We have just to take care about this one to go. Okay, Nice. So let's close, and we can exit from the isolation, and let's go in the top view again, and let's pick this one, and we can pick the cable material. Okay, so back to the other cable, and we have the material. So back in the camera number 6, select the camera target, we can move it and select the camera, and we can move it to okay, select back the target. Okay, and we can go a little bit more distant, close, save, and back in the rendering we can render this part. Okay, perfect. So close, back in the camera number 5, and there we like to render this area. Okay, so we have this lamp there, and maybe we can have another vase on this part. Maybe this one can be made of glasses. So let's create something really simple. Let's zoom this area. Let's create a line. But let's remove, okay. And let's say that this one is really big. So then again, let's create the curve using the fillet, and then using the spline we can pick this one, and we say to create the outline. This time is more little. Then back in the vertex, these vertices can be moved. These vertices, let's zoom, and we need the fillet. Okay, so close and use the lathe minimum, and we have to fix still the vertices. These vertices will be corner. That's wrong, sorry. We can select all the other vertices and move it, and then let's zoom this area because we need more space there. I like to make something strange. Okay, then this one can be moved to stay on the ground. Perfect. And then let's move, for example, there, and this one is made of glass vase, and a sign, and zoom. So this one will be a VRay material again, we'll have freshen reflection. We'll have something like 1.7. White reflection, and then we have just a little bit of reflection glossiness, but we have the refraction set to 1.4 with refraction set to 210. Affect shadows. Okay, so I like to see this object. We can have more refraction. Let's go for 240. And back in the render, let's render just this part. Okay, it is better. So let's go in a perspective. And let's zoom. Okay, we have this one, and then we have another one, and maybe this one is a little bit more little. Okay. And actually we have nothing, but it's just to have something over the furniture there. Okay, now we need to work at the TV. Let's go in a perspective. You know, actually we are using just a really simple mesh, so we are talking about something like that. You know, I like to create something more complex, but we don't need so much something so complex. So let's do something like 4 centimeters, and then let's imagine that it stay attached to the wall, and we can do something with a map. So that's the TV temp. Let's go to a gradient ramp. Okay, so it will be let's say a box, and we'll use something like this one can stay there. So we have there a gray like this one, then copy and paste. And there we have a black color, and there we have black too. And the change there with the screen will be really, you see, really near, and we'll move it a little bit higher. And let's say that we have also, you see, with no tiling. Okay, maybe something like that. So we have the right map. Let's go back to the camera, and inside right now I like just to see if it is working as map. Okay, you see that we have the different colors. Now I like to have, first of all, the reflection should be, let's go for 1.5 for the IRR, and we go to have a little bit of glossiness back in the rendering. Okay, you see that we are starting to have the glossy reflection, a little bit of distortion for the glass. So let's go for bump. We can go for noise, and again render. Okay, it's obviously really too much. We can try with 5 for the bump amount. Maybe a little bit less, so let's try with 2. I like just to have a little bit of distortion. That's too much. A little bit less. Okay. Then we can have, let's go in the isolation perspective, because I like to do something more. So convert to editable poly, and let's select all the edges. And let's go for chamfer 0.25 as always. Let's say yes and close. Then we can make a clone for this one using the shift key, and we can just scale it just to have a bar over there. So we can have something like that, but it will be a little bit more little and a little bit larger. And it will stay at the base of the TV, and it can be a chrome material. So TV chrome, VRay material, black color, freshen reflection, 18 white, and glossy. Then let's zoom this area, and we can have a little logo, so text. We can make it more little, and let's say something really strange. We don't need to know which is the logo. So center, and this one can be let's go for shell. This one will be TV white, and it is just VRay material with a white color and nothing more. So sorry, that's not a shell. I like to have this extrude, and let's say 0, 1. Okay, nice, and rotate but 180. Back to the camera there, and again render. Sorry, inside the camera and render. Okay, we have the bar there, and we have the logo too. We have to move a little bit the TV, because you see it's strange that it stay on the same plane. So let's pick this one, and this one. Let's make a group TV, and we move it a little bit higher and a little bit there. Okay, nice. And this one can stay a little bit there. And save. So we have also the TV. Maybe we can just change a little bit the shape for the TV. So open group. Let's pick this one. Okay, and group, close. So let's try to render a frame. Okay, so you see that's our actual result. We can put something maybe there because we have nothing. Maybe it can be another furniture, or maybe we can add, for example, some chair or something like that. But I see that maybe we have a problem with this mesh, with this one. So go in isolation. Right, this one is not changed, so edit poly, vertices, and let's zoom. And we can move it. Okay. Nice. We can also start to prepare the other lighting, so the lighting by night. Let's change this camera just a little bit. Okay, let's go for something a little bit higher. Okay, and let's select also the target. Okay. Perfect. So let's save. And maybe we can think to have something over there, but it's not so important. Maybe we can have a curtain there. But I like to render this image with the right quality. So back there, 52, 4. And back there, let's use -1, detail enhancement, and 2000 for the subdivision, and the anti-alias with the right value. So save and render. That's nice. We can make also tests using the depth of field, but let's select the camera and let's say which is the focus. So the focus is this one. Okay. And let's say that we have the depth of field. And let's see with a lower quality. Just to adjust the depth of field information. And a little bit more label. And to adjust the depth of field, we have before to change the F number. Let's go for 2.5 and let's render another preview. We have obviously more light coming inside the scene. But let's see there if we have a little bit of depth of field. It is just a little bit. Maybe we can add a little bit more, so let's go for 2 and let's see the result. Okay, we have a little bit more depth of field, and now we can tweak also the shutter speed to have something more interesting. Let's try with 160. Okay, the illumination is again better than before. Okay, nice. Let's see if we add a little bit of ambient occlusion too. You see, we are catching a little bit more detail over the model. Okay, so I think that in the next part, maybe for example we can have some art on this panel. So let's go in the first camera. Okay, we can pick something like that. Let's make a clone as a copy. And then from the top we can copy it there. Nice. Let's rotate by -90 degree, and we can scale it. Let's go in a perspective. Okay, let's open this group. Okay, and let's make another material like this one. So maybe let's copy there. Let's call it Art5. We can assign and choose a new map. Always from there. Let's say that maybe we can have something like that. Okay, let's rotate by 90 degree. Let's remove the blurring, group, close, and we can rotate it by -90 back in the camera. And we can have this one there. And then we can have something from, so -90, copy. And let's make it a little bit bigger. Perspective. Okay, let's copy this material, Art6, open this group, select this one, and there we choose for another map. And let's see what we have there. And let's see which one we can be used. Maybe this one is really nice. So assign. Okay, back to the camera and close the group. and let's move it a little bit, and this one can stay maybe there, and then we make a copy, and this one will be will be more little, and it will stay, for example, there, and perspective. Okay, group, open, pick this one, and let's make another copy. This one is the art 7. Let's assign, and then we can pick something else. Maybe we can use this one. Okay, group, close, and back in the camera. So save, and I like to navigate between the cameras. That's the first one. It's still similar as before. Camera number 2 is the same. Camera number 3 is the same because we see just some part of the room. This one is a little bit more interesting now, so let's make a preview for this one, and let's select this camera, and this camera should be again with 160 for the shutter speed and 2 for the f number, and the focus can be there. Okay, nice. And save and render. So we are tuning all the cameras. Maybe there we need to have less light inside the room. I'm not sure. No, it works fine. Okay. Maybe we can have, let's go for 1 for the f number and 200 for the shutter speed. I like to have a little bit of more depth of field there, but we have a lot of light actually. It is really too much. Let's see the depth of field. Oh, sorry. We have to activate it. So back to 160 and 2 for the f number and render. Okay, you see we have a little bit of depth of field there. Back to the camera 5 just to have a vision. And that's okay. So I think we have to put something there to have a more interesting point of view. Maybe we can add a curtain, and then we can just render it. So I like also to have a richer level of detail there. So let's go to have maybe 10 for the max depth. And I like just to focus on this area. Okay. So now we can actually render this point of view, and it will be our viewport. Maybe I like to move these pieces over the wall. Maybe we can completely remove it, or maybe we can have just one there and remove the second one. So inside the rendering again, Let's select this area. Okay, it is better. Okay, nice. So remove, and we can make the final render and check together the result. Okay, as you see, the quality is really nice, but we have maybe a little problem with the depth of field, because there it is a little bit too much. So on the next part we have to tune it. So for the moment that's all. On the next part I like to finalize adding some stuff there, and we'll work to the night lighting to see how it looks with night lighting and daily lighting as we have actually. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.